Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. After 2 days of no internet service, we are finally able to come before you. And of course, we are going to be talking about the devastating multi-state tornado that tore through towns and cities. So let's get to it. This is indeed something that is very, very catastrophic. We were able to look at some images and videos on our cell phones, but it wasn't until last night, as a matter of fact, late last night, that we were actually able to access any type of internet feed that was worth looking at. You can only see so much on your phone, especially if it is buffering like crazy. It was going in and out, so we were able to see some, but then we were able to see a whole lot more on last night. And of course, it is devastating to see what the Most High has done across several states. Right now, it is being said that the tornado actually started in Arkansas. It went into Mississippi, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Illinois, and it has killed a lot of people and have left a lot of wreckage for hundreds of miles. The information that we were able to see while our internet service was off, we were able to see that this storm, they said, is unlike none they've ever seen. This tornado traveled for over 200 or more miles on the ground in a straight path, the main tornado. But it was also stated that probably more than 50 tornadoes touched down in various areas in all of the states that we named. Again, those states that were touched by this horrific event were Arkansas, Mississippi, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Illinois. So I'm going to show you some of the damage. Many of you, if you don't live in those regions, you've already seen much of it. Okay. It is really, really an eye-opener for some, those who know that the Most High is the one who is definitely in control of these events. But I'm going to go ahead and show some of the images that are showing the damage that has taken place. Now, Mayfield, Kentucky is one of the hardest hit areas, and a lot of the news coverage seems to have focused on that area. Now, many of you, many years ago when we used to do our gatherings and events, many of you, some of you actually stayed in Mayfield when we had our events out in Lyon County, and we hear that the tornadoes touched down out in Lyon County as well. And so with all of the various destructions that have hit, Mayfield was the worst hit. And I do remember that some of you actually stayed in Mayfield. And so to see that, we've gone through Mayfield many times, to see the destruction that has happened there, it is definitely an eye-opener, because we know that the Most High is in control of these things. And so that's the one thing that I think a lot of people miss. Some of the news footage that we saw, there was a guy who was trapped in his bathtub, and he said the whole time that he was in that bathtub, he prayed. His tub, I believe he said, was filling up with water, and he thought he was going to drown. But that bathtub was one of the things used to save him. He also said that a wall toppled over on top over the bathtub to keep any other debris from hitting him. And so you do hear stories where people are acknowledging the hand of the Most High, and whether it's him protecting them from this, or him sparing their lives, or the fact that it is he who have orchestrated this. I mean, when you really look at what the Bible says, there is nothing that happens on this earth that the Most High is not fully aware of. And for that reason, I fear the Most High. I fear the Most High and what he is able to do and what he will allow in anybody's life. So in this day and age, I don't understand why there are those who still don't believe in the Most High and what he is capable of. The Most High has in these last days made himself very known and very clear to those who are paying attention. And so as you look at what has happened in these regions, all of these states, all of the damage, all of the loss of life, the destruction, when you look at these things, it is, for me, I believe it should be a wake-up call. I believe that it should be a wake-up call. One news reporter actually said that these severe weather events are becoming the new norm. In other words, there is an increase in these severe weather events. Now, some people call this stuff Mother Nature. That's because they don't want to recognize or realize that our Creator, the Creator of heaven and earth, is indeed responsible for the things that we see happening on the earth. There is nothing happening that He is not fully aware of. So all you can do is thank the Most High. When you yourself are spared in these events, we see these events happening all over the world now. Whether it's a tornado or a hurricane or some type of flooding or some type of just major event, we are starting to see more and more of this happening on the earth. And when you see the tears of the people, and when you see the gratitude for the lives that were saved, and you see the tears for the lives that were lost, it all becomes very real. It all becomes very real that we are in those times to where we're going to see more and more of these things happening. Not just weather events, but things, period, that will devastate the lives of people. And it is like the Most High is shaking this place. He is shaking the earth, and He is making Himself known before all. These are very, very sad events when you see them happen. And all you can do, if you are one of those who was spared in all of this, if you are one of those who may have been right next door to a neighbor whose house was leveled but yours was spared, or right down the street from a house that was devastated but yours was spared, you ought to thank the Most High Yah. Again, the gentleman who was in the bathtub, his home was leveled. And what he said was that just across the street, his cousin was untouched by the storm. As a matter of fact, it was that cousin, I believe, that came and pulled him out of the tub. And so when you hear these kinds of things happening, know for a certainty that the Most High, our Creator, the Creator of heaven and earth, He is in control. There is nothing that happens on this planet that He is not fully aware of. And for those reasons alone, it is enough for us to fear and reverence our Creator. Anyway, I am done with this story. And I want to thank the Most High that what we experienced was a loss of power and a loss of internet. But with the loss of power, we do have a whole house generator. I remember when the tornado hit in Nashville earlier this year. It was just as devastating as what has hit these multiple states. And that tornado in Nashville devastated so many lives. We lost power for a few days with that storm as well. But again, thankfully, having the whole house generator, we were able to have power during that time. But of course, the internet is something totally different. I believe the internet service that was in Nashville affected many, many regions, and we were one of the areas affected by the tornado that ripped through there as well. So these events are happening more and more, and they are becoming more and more devastating. more and more devastating. This is why folk need to stay prayed up. You need to give your life to the Most High Yah. You need to trust and understand that He is both good and He is both terrible. The Bible actually states this. So for any of you who are shocked by me saying that, the Bible tells you that He is merciful and terrible. That is absolutely the truth. He is a God of love and of wrath. God, as the world calls Him. But He controls the good and the bad. He says He created evil even. And to hear something like that, for some people, they don't want to hear that part of the Most High. They don't want to hear that He is the one who has created evil. And so understanding Him in His full capacity is what we must do. We must understand and know and appreciate who the Most High is. Anyways, I am done with this video. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for those who reached out to us in concern. We were fine just without the internet and without power, but we, Todayah, are in the land of the living, untouched, and we just want to thank the Most High for that. Again, we are grateful to the Most High for all that He has done, for the lives that were spared, for, everything is in His hands. That's all I can say, is all in His hands. And when you really, really understand that, you would understand that at any moment, if the Most High is looking for you, if the Most High is ready to call your number, you can run, but you cannot hide. That is how I live my life. I understand that if it is my time, there is absolutely nothing I can do about it. Nothing. That's how I live my life, with that understanding. But I also live my life with the understanding that I have faith and trust in our Creator, and that He will honor that faith and that trust. That is how I live my life, family. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, keep it tight and keep it right. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.